So this bridge is Fenchurch Street station from this side road. But I want to head to the main entrance. And the road that I just came from also leads to Tower Hill station on the district. So right behind me is Fenchurch Street railway station, and I'm going to be heading inside soon to get a CTC train heading east. These are the platforms of Fenchurch Street station, and it's the terminus for C2C Railway, who operates services to Southend and Shoeburyness via Tilbury, Grace and Hornby. There's a train for Grace. The station is pretty much just located in like office blocks. It's very hidden away, very isolated, and connectivity is another big problem that the station has. I'll explain later. The station only has 4 platforms, but during peak hours the service level here is immense. It's so big. I mean in terms of service, not the station. If you get what I mean. And there is a staircase down here that takes you down to the underground station at Tower Hill and the DLR station at Tower Gateway. It's more widely used than the front entrance of the station. a bit of history about the station. So, the first terminus of the London and Blackwall Railway was actually Minories or Minories Station. It was located somewhere around there, right where Tower Gateway Station on the DLR is. But was extended to Fenchurch Street about a year later. And fun fact, Fenchurch Street is actually the first railway station to be built within the City of London. So that's cool. And then Cannon Street followed and was the second station, I think, to be built in the City of London. So right there is Tower Gateway Station on the DLR, and it's like literally within meters of Fenchurch Street. Now, connectivity is like the biggest problem the station has, because there is no tube station that actually connects directly with it. You only got Tower Gateway DLR, Tower Hill on the Circle and District lines. As if that wasn't bad enough, that there is no bus route. I mean, London bus route that serves Fenchurch Street Station directly. I mean, there is a stop called Fenchurch Street Station, but that's only served by local bus routes, and in the case of a diversion, which is just so stupid. I mean, why would a London bus be used on diversion to serve Fenchurch Street Station? It should be served all the time. I mean, I think long before TfL used to actually serve Fenchurch Street Station by bus, but now it's not the case. The station is perfectly susceptible to have 12-car trains at the station, usually during peak hours, like it is now. In the distance, I don't know if you can see it, there's a DLR train into Tower Gateway. It's a very tiny station now. In terms of like future plans, they actually had a plan to, move Fenchurch Street a bit further to the east on like more straighter track, and actually use up the space that Tower Gateway Station occupies by just, closing it all together and just having one route to Bank, which provides more connectivity into the cities. And like, actually TfL had plans to close Tower Gateway Station altogether by like 2050, and to replace it, an underground DLR station would actually be built at Tower Hill Station instead, to link up with the District and Circle lines. So, yeah, that is good, but not sure what they would have done with, like, Fenchurch Street in case of Tower Gateway closes. I mean, what I know is that they would just move it. I mean, what will become of the station building on the side? At the front of the station? Most of the time you would just see 357s, which are like the oldest electrostars on the network, on the British network. They entered in like 2000 and they're still going strong. They're not even dated much on the outside, but inside they are pretty dated. That's a train for Leon C. It's one of the peak services. Now, Fenchurch Street is the only terminus in London to not have an underground connection, but back in like the 70s and 80s, it was meant to have one. So back then there was a plan to extend the Jubilee line from its OG terminus at Charing Cross underneath the Fleet Street, where, like, you know, where City Thameslink and St Paul's are currently, over to like Cannon Street and to actually serve Fenchurch Street. Oh geez. And then the Jubilee line would carry on much further to St Catherine Docks, St Catherine Docks, Canary Wharf, and all the way over to Beckton and Thamesmead. But due to the new Prime Minister not being a fan of railways, you might know who that is, the project was abandoned, and Charing Cross remained the terminus until 1999, when it was closed and the Jubilee was rerouted to Stratford via Waterloo instead. And there is still a piece of evidence that still shows like Fenchurch Street was meant to have an underground connection. So the building that was actually meant, the building that's like on the right of the station, was actually meant to house the underground station below, apparently. So yeah, that's a cool secret. I mean, I didn't know that existed until I saw an Ian Visits article. Most of the Class 357s have been undergoing refurbishments, and there is one coming just right now. It's literally just a mechanical overhaul and a repaint, and it's distinguished by just a very bland interior, with the C2C seats still remaining. 033. I like the livery at least. It's very standing out. It's almost as if they're sentient and showing off their livery. And I like that they have a quiet zone on the C2C. They don't do that on other trains, sadly, or the operators. And I guess the 357s are still going to remain in service for a very long time, because they are still very good trains. Electrostars are really nice trains. Southend and Shoeburyness. These units have existed since like 2000 and still look great, and they're still reliable today. Well, we got one of the newer Ventras. They're not replacing the 357s, they're replacing leased 387s, which were temporary units while these ones were being built. I think this came out of East Ham Depot. I don't know. the 720-6 trains. Yeah, they can fit the entire length of the platform because a 10-car 720 is the same length as a 12-car 357, albeit with like much higher capacity. We've got this 1654 service to Grays via Ockenden, not Raynham. Again, a peak service. Not sure where that's going. Alright, so I think I want to board this new Aventura train, and I'll just take it all the way over to West Ham or Limehouse, wherever I want to go. do also operate on Liverpool Street, usually only on weekends. Mail map. And we're off from Fenchurch Street.
Welcome aboard the C2C rail service to Shoeburyness, calling at Limehouse, West Ham, Upminster, Langdon,
No barking.
Paisley, Benfleet, Leigh-on-Sea, Chalkwell, Westcliff, Southend Central, Southend East, Fort Bay, and Shoeburyness.
On one of the new adventure trains, I'll only be taking this until Limehouse.
The next station is Limehouse.
And we're travelling alongside the Docklands Light Railway. Thank you.
I'm at Fenchurch, just at Fenchurch Street now. Not back till.
If you see something that doesn't look right,
2 minutes.
speak to staff.
They brought GTR Matt in.
On 61.
Well, hang on, no, meet me a figgy. I don't
Sorted.
mean that something I can
See
speak.
it, say it, sorted.
I mean that something.